Umpires on the field, teams about to join them. It is finals day at the 2026 Australian Women's Championship. Well, we started the tournament with 6 teams. We have narrowed them down to 4, and by the end of today, Friday, we will know our final 2 teams left standing and those who will play for gold. Now, the pathways for all 4 of those teams look a little bit different. There are 3 finals games today, and the first one gives you a fast track to the big dance. This is the qualifying final. Why is it called the qualifying final? Because you win this game, you go to the gold medal game. You lose this game, you play an elimination preliminary final later this afternoon. My name is Eric Balnar. So happy to have your company this morning. And I'm particularly happy to have the company of 6-time Emerald, Amy McCann, in the broadcast booth. Amy, you've played in a lot of these national championships as well. This format changed this is the 3rd iteration of it now, of this format. And yeah, the winner of this game, it's a big one. You don't have to play a doubleheader today, which makes a big difference in the long run of this tournament.
Yeah, it does. For me, this is the game of the week, obviously, outside of the gold medal game. And I just love this. I love this format. I think the format now across the 2 days is brilliant. I think I played 13 nationals. I think I had 13 different formats, and I think we finally found a good one. And to the winner goes the spoils. The rest of the afternoon off, they get to tune into us for the other 2 games.
It certainly tests and rewards depth in this state. Winner to the gold medal game, loser will play the winner of New South Wales and Queensland, who play immediately following this game. Well, this matchup features the 2 best offenses all week during the competition. It's Victoria and Western Australia. Victoria went through the group stage undefeated, including a 22-3 victory over Western Australia on day number 1, which is crazy. But Western Australia have looked completely different since the last time they played Victoria. It was a tough opening day, Amy McCann, for WA, but since then they have ripped off 52 runs in their last 4 games en route to winning 4 in a row and earning a spot in the double chance qualifying final.
Yeah, I think I had Morgan Doty in the booth, and I said to her after the 3rd game, I said, whoops, I think there's some trouble for the other teams, because I think what happened was WA came here, it was a little bit cold on that first day, wasn't quite their weather, and they had the doubleheader, the tough doubleheader, and after that they have warmed up, and that is a dangerous proposition for the rest of the competition. Exciting for us.
It's very exciting for us, and starting on the mound is one of the best in the world. That is no exaggeration. It is Emi Saiki, the Japanese pitcher out of, Japan. You guessed it, played with the Hanshin Tigers, also spent time in Canada, and now finds herself playing in Victoria. She's had 1 appearance, 5 innings, allowed just the 1 earned run off 3 hits and no walks. And Ellie O'Sullivan, who's also played in Japan, flares one out to right field. It's gathered in by Lily Simpson, and we are quickly underway in the qualifying final.
You can see the 2 Lilies just having a chat there, and Ellie O'Sullivan, she was on a tear the other night, and she just pokes this. She loves the outside ones there, and Lily Simpson comes across in front of Lily Kavanagh. Fantastic work there. Communication is the key out there, and they can fly, those 2. They're going to cover a lot of territory.
Caitlin Einan steps into the plate. She is very much an idol for a lot of young baseballers. You heard Bella Clark, her now teammate in one of her first AWCs, talk about that in an interview yesterday. She's also an idol for 6-time Emeralds like yourself, Amy McCann, and yesterday she showed why she is considered one of the best in the world. With her in the final, she went 2 for 2, 2 walks, a grand slam, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. And she's going to start her account by grounding over to short, a good throw from Nalumi Kamatani, and there's quickly 2 outs.
Abby Kelly over at shortstop for Victoria, and that's fantastic. You see 2 players vying, I think, for the shortstop or up the middle position in Einan and Kelly, and Kelly's been fantastic all week, almost on the grass there, gets that 1 step to Abby McClellan with 2 down for Victoria.
Leah Cornish steps up to the plate, another Emerald. Just quickly around the diamond, Jazz Bentley in left field, Lily Kavanagh at center, Lily Simpson at right, Miku Saita at third base, Abby Kelly at short, Nalumi Kamatani at second, Abby McClellan at first, Jamie Bastian is catching, and Emi Saiki, the Japanese pitcher, on the mound. It's O'Sullivan, Einen, Cornish up to bat, Atkinson, Haggart, Morris, Ramsey, Newman, and White. The 1-9 for Western Australia. And what a tournament Leah Cornish has had. She finished pool play, leading it in stolen bases. She's 7 for 18. She's been consistent. She hasn't had that game where you know that Leah Cornish can go 4 for 5 with a home run and whatever, but she has every game made contributions by getting on base and moving runners around. She also played in Canada, did Leah Cornish. She played in Quebec. The other side of the country to where Psyche played in the BC League for 3 years in Canada. It's a 2-2 count. But one thing Cornish does have is tremendous plate discipline. Just 19 years old, won the Golden Bat of this tournament 3 years ago. The last time she played, and she walks, and she can pass the baton to another Golden Bat winner. The last year's Golden Bat winner, Chloe Atkinson, steps up to the dish.
Yeah, Chloe Atkinson, this is like the third year. A lot of people might not have known her name last year, but she's been doing this for multiple years, and I think we talk a lot about Einen and Cornish, but yeah, Chloe Atkinson has just been an amazing for the last few years.
Runner is going. Cornish, who had the stolen base lead, is in second, and Amy Atkinson won the Golden Bat last year, and she very well could win it again in this tournament. She is the co-leader in hits with 13, and among teams in the finals, she co-leads all players with 11 runs batted in. Every game, she's picked up a couple of hits at least. She's got 5 doubles. She has been excellent again with the bat. She pops one up, though. It might be in a bit of an awkward spot. Abby Kelly is running back. She gets called off by Lily Kavanaugh. That ball drops, and it costs Victoria a run. A rare error from the star center fielder, and Western Australia have a 1-0 lead.
When you have the speed and you can cover the amount of territory that someone like Lily Kavanaugh can, you can see the territory she covered there. You cover that amount of ground, you're going to get to more balls than other people, and sometimes it's going to come off your glove. You're going to get balls. You're going to glove balls that most people are not going to get near, and I think that definitely was a routine basket catch there. We've seen Lily Kavanaugh take harder ones than that. I know she'll be very disappointed with that, and for the scoreboard as well. 1-0 now.
The red pen is out by the scorers, so it goes down as an unearned run. But now Western Australia, a team that has hit the laces off the baseball the last few days, extend an inning. Victoria have been relatively unchallenged by teams in this tournament in games, other than one, a 5-4 win on the final day versus Queensland. Now, credit to Victoria, they won that game. But in that game, Victoria let Queensland back in it after building a 4-0 lead because they had a couple moments where they just struggled to make that final out, giving Queensland a couple more opportunities. It was a big focal point by Sam Hamilton, the coach of Victoria, playing clean baseball.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup. There's been a lot of talk about the power of the WA Bats, but the Victorian team, they've scored 80-something runs across this event.
Ball hit up the middle. What range from Abby Kelly. The flip on the backhand. And a big smile from Nalumi Kamatani as Victoria get out of the inning, just allowing one.
The celebration from Emi Saiki on the mound there was awesome. This is Abby Kelly 3.0. This is vintage Abby Kelly, and that play there, the power feed, usually you see that on the other side from second base, and you can see the stretched hands of Emi Saiki on the mound there. That is a little bit of a momentum mover now, I think, for Victoria as we head into the bottom of the first.
Well, this is how Victoria will bat in lineup. It is a difficult decision to make about who gets in this starting 9 for Victoria because, like you said, Amy, they have been, well, I mean, excellent with the bat, to say the least. They have scored 77 runs in 5 games, hitting .447 as a team with a .547 on-base percentage. There are 13 players who have a 300 average or above. Now, some have smaller and bigger sample sizes than others, but there are exactly 7 players with a 400 average or more, and all of those players have had more than 10 plate appearances. So Abby Kelly will lead things off. Kira Kiwamoto is batting second. Lily Kavanaugh putting together an MVP-type-like campaign again, batting third. Abby McClellan homered yesterday. Jamie Bastian is batting 5. She is one of the leaders in RBI. Miku Saita is batting 6th. Nalumi Kamatani 7th. Jazz Bentley 8th. And Lily Simpson, who is hot the last couple of games, rounds out the lineup as your second lineup as 9. But they'll have to contend against an Emerald Amy McCann. She was on the last World Cup roster. She was pitching in the last World Cup roster. She's a national champion and has pitched big games before. And this is another one, and another big one in the chapter of Megan Haggert's career.
Yeah, Megan Haggart is one of the, not just a two-way player, as we see lots of two-way players in this game now. She's a three-way player. I'd rate her as one of the top centre fielders in the game, and Elodie O'Sullivan slips in really nicely there as well, but Megan's a tight little catcher as well.
Ground ball hit hard over to third. It's scooped up by Leah Cornish, who zips it across the diamond, and Abby Kelly, who is 8 for 18 entering the game, grounds out. Grounds
out to the Great Wall of Western Australia. Covers, it's a little Confederate nation of Cornish over there. She's been absolutely sensational there. She's been coming forward, moving back, making space, coming across the entire side. Very tidy and clean house over there with Cornish and Einan.
Cornish at third, Caitlin Einan at short. Einan, the Golden Glove winner of last year's tournament, had a nice play yesterday. Caitlin Einan, slow roller, bare hand. Ashlyn Morris playing second base. Peyton Newman playing first. She's quietly being one of the top first basewomen in this tournament, and you can see her experience she's had from Canada. Grace White, Maddie. There's too many Graces, too many Maddies,
too
many Whites as well in this tournament. But yeah, Maddie White in left field.
One might say there's not enough.
Elodie O'Sullivan in center field. Couple O'Sullivans and Sullivans in general in this tournament, and Bianca Ramsey in right field. Chloe Atkinson is the catcher, and like we said, Megan Haggart is facing Kira Kiwamoto.
Just having a look at the outfield here, and look, it doesn't matter anymore. She walks. Kira Kiwamoto, one of the harder batters to field on in the outfield. There was quite a big gap from right centre all the way across the left field line. Kira Kiwamoto can hit all parts of the field. But it doesn't matter. She doesn't need to hit. She's got a free pass.
Lily Kavanaugh, 13 for 18 with 9 RBIs and 5 stolen bases in the tournament. She missed last year due to injury, and 2 years ago she was the MVP of this very event. And she fouls one straight back. And Cav, as they call her, is in contention for some major awards, you would think, once again, with co-leading the tournament in hits. She's only a couple RBIs behind. She's one behind the leader in stolen bases, and we've yet to see her pitch, Amy.
She does it all. The thing with Cav is that we saw her lose 15 months with that knee injury she suffered in Lismore at that showcase. And the thing I love to watch with players is how they evolve over their career, how they bounce back for certain things. And she has come back. She is fitter. She is better. It is very scary.
Flares one over in foul territory. Peyton Newman is having a think about it, but that ball had enough mustard to slip away foul. It will put 2 strikes on the account of Kavanaugh at the plate. 2 big-time bats, this 3-4 in the Vic lineup. Lily Kavanaugh and Abby McClellan. McClellan due up. They have combined for 25 hits and 20 RBI in their 6 games in this tournament so far. That ball knocked foul. Lots on the line in this game. The winner plays for gold. The loser has to do it the hard way. They've got to play a doubleheader today to try to get to that national championship game.
Big gap between Leah Cornish and the third base foul line. Lily does like to pull the ball, so I wonder if she could get things started here.
That ball slips away, and it will cost a base for Western Australia. Kuamoto will move into scoring position.
Yeah, one of the things you need to be able to do as a batter is adapt as the at-bat goes on. You might have a different job from one pitch to the next, depending on where Kira Kuamoto moves on the base pass. Lily Kavanagh has to adjust her strategy and fight all the strategy from Megan Haggett too.
Kira Kuamoto plays for the Newport Rams baseball club. This is her 3rd time playing for Victoria in the AWC.
Kuamoto on second also takes Einan. Can leave a bit of a gap there.
This ball put up in the outfield, and it drops over the head of Bianca Ramsey. Kavanagh will get to second easily, waving around home is Kuamoto. Kuamoto will stand up at home as Kavanagh rips a triple to right field to tie this game up at 1.
An amazing piece of hitting. If you do the scouting report on Lily Kavanagh, you'll see a lot of green from centre to left. And that is how good Lily Kavanagh is. She just brings out an oppo blast over the head of Bianca Ramsey. Great base running from Kuamoto. She looked to tag up, and she had plenty of time to head home. And what's better than a triple, Eric? A Lily Kavanagh triple celly.
She is a vibrant player, Lily Kavanagh. Is Abby McClellan, who went deep. She hit it, like 380, you'd think, at least yesterday. That was to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark for Abby McClellan, who's got 11 RBIs and 12 for 19 on the tournament, and she just needs a fly ball here to give Victoria the lead. A base hit will do, but a fly ball does the job.
Yes, I'm very devastated, Eric. I was calling the youth games over on the back diamond, and I missed Abby's blast. I missed Caitlin's blast. I did hear it, though. As we see the WA side, the infield is in, so they are looking to see if they can cut off. This is an interesting tactic this early in the ball game.
Abby McClellan, hard hit ball to left field. That is going to rattle to the wall. Kavanagh scores with ease. Abby McClellan can just jog to second. A triple for Kavanagh, a double for McClellan, and they have been doing this all week long.
Little scuba from Abby McClellan there, and as I said, the infield coming in there trying to cut off the run, but it didn't matter because Abby McClellan, we saw it from Abby Kelly as well. Abby knows both the Abbies, they know they can go over the fence, but they are just looking, all of these women are just looking to drive the ball hard, and that is exactly what she does.
Jamie Bastian steps up to the plate. She's 3 for 10. She's got 5 stolen bases. She's thrown a couple runners out, but the peculiar stat that you see is her 11 RBIs off of 3 hits. Ground ball, McClellan freezes. Now she's going to get over to third. I don't know if McClellan realized there was an out or it was a slow base run. She's safe either way, but that was a weird freeze up.
You could just see Jared Rogers just holding up a finger in front of her face, just going, yep, no, there was only 1 out. I think Abby McClellan thought there was 2, but yeah, look, Jamie Bastian, she knows the batters that she's got in front of her. Her job is to, look, Kavanagh and McClellan are big double, triple hitters. She knows her job is just to try and score the runner. So lots of sack flies, moving runners over for Jamie Bastian. Catcher that does everything she can for the team.
Miku Saita to third base. And how about Leah Cornish? An awkward hop and a great throw across the diamond. 3 plays from Cornish in that inning, but the triple from Kavanaugh and double from McClellan has put Victoria up 2-1. But Amy, on this replay here, how about Cornish?
Yeah, look, they came off the dirt there. So obviously we see a lot of true bounces. No bad hops on this field is what we always say in Victoria, but that's a tough one out of the dirt. But Leah Cornish over there, I said the other day, she's very, very good at coming forward, but going back and making space and giving herself a great opportunity there. She knows her arm, and look, doesn't matter the speed up the line. She has an absolute cannon across the diamond. She's been beautiful to watch there.
It's a 2-1 lead for Victoria after one. A trip to the gold medal on the line. We'll step aside and be back with inning number 2. Ashlyn Morris steps into the batter's box as we begin inning number 2, and what a treat it has been to see Ashlyn Morris back at a national championships for the first time since 2018. She played some Division I softball at Ball State for 5 seasons. She's hit a homer in this tournament, Amy, and she's 10 for 20. With 5 extra base hits. I think she can hit.
Just a little. Yeah, I was so excited to see all the names coming back. Abby McClellan, Leah Cornish, but I had my little highlighter. Everyone knows I love my colours, and I had a highlighter next to her name. I've been so excited to see Ashlyn Morris and just really what everyone's been touting her about. She was obviously part of the WA side pre-COVID and went off to softball, and yeah, she can mash.
Swing and a miss, and a nice start to the inning for Psyche. It is her first strikeout of the day, and Amy, one of the big decisions I know for Victoria, I like this decision. Western Australia have been hitting the ball well. They've been living on fastballs. You can't miss against them. They've gone to somebody here that throws a lot of off-speed pitches.
Yeah, this is a clear strategy by the head coach, Samantha Hamilton, Hall of Famer, recently announced Baseball Australia Hall of Famer Samantha Hamilton. Knowing that, look, WA, a lot of the girls in this country now, they can hit gas.
Ball down the line.
Yeah, and Emisaki really brings in a whole array of pitches. Jamie Bastian will be having a field day deciding that. And I think what they need to do here, particularly with that heart of that lineup, which seems like it's 1-9, is they need to be really going in and out, keeping them off balance. And that's another great pitch there to strike out B. Ramsey. Just really, it's a cat and mouse game of upsetting each other's timing and rhythm. And I think Emisaki is an absolute perfect decision here. Both teams want to win this game and have the rest of the day off, and you can't save pitches for a game you might not make.
Here is Peyton Newman. Loved seeing her try to progress her baseball career by going over to North America and spending some time in Quebec, which is not it's the east almost coast of Canada. It's not coast. You can go much further east, but it's pretty east.
I had Peyton on my Women's Baseball Inside Pitch podcast. It was awesome hearing from her.
Popped up into foul territory. It's going to get into the grandstands here.
Actually, yeah, her and Leah Cornish were over there. Leah what I love about Leah, she just gets the business done. She's very quiet. She'd want to be on the podcast, but she wrote in a whole bunch of answers for me, and I could read them out. She wanted to be part of it. She just likes being in the background.
Psyche battling away. She throws a lot of strikes, does Psyche. Didn't walk anybody in her 5 innings of work earlier in the tournament. Just the 1 walk today. It's come back to allow a run off an error. Psyche has played in Canada. She says one of her favorite things is to learn new languages. Loves learning English, being able to connect over baseball. But it's a good passion to have, learning language. And her club listed as the Hanshin Tigers in Japan, and that's a big deal. That's a professional team. Hanshin Tigers, one of the most famous clubs in Japan.
Bulldog in Australia, she is part of the Footscray Bulldogs. As we just see, she fouls that down the line. We have all of the WA youth women's team. They've all got prime position in front row right behind home plate. They're watching their senior counterparts, and they are looking pretty nice in the youth women's competition.
Yeah, great to see that connection. And what a battle, though, from Peyton Newman here, who fell behind 0-2 early and has chopped a few away just to stay alive, Amy McCann.
Yeah, really impressed with Peyton taking her craft over to Canada. Her hitting is something she's been really working hard on. We know her as a really great first basewoman over there, and just trying to lift her game here. This is a great battle.
Led the tournament in walks, but she pops one up. Easily played over at third base by Saita. And it is a 1-2-3 inning for Victoria in the works of Emi Saiki on the hill. A tremendous start to this game for the Japanese import pitcher.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. We'll see her over in Los Angeles in the WPBL just in a couple of months, as we will a few Aussies over there as well. And that's one of the great, I guess, gluttony of options that Samantha Hamilton does have in that Victorian team. We know there's been a lot talked about all the players returning this year from all different sides and the powerhouse of the lineup of WA, but the roster, the team, the clubhouse that Sam's put together, and it's just absolutely amazing. The spread of clubs and everyone just wanting to do whatever they can for the team. It's a really great culture down there in that team. As I said, the whole team staying together at a frat house. A clubhouse down in I think Williams Landing. I think the whole team is, and yeah, they had a team dinner last night. And it's just I've been around this team for a very long time. I was part of them for 13 years, and this team has a different look. It has a different feel, and been around a lot of the training sessions. And I look around and I go, I love seeing eras evolve, and you can't compare eras. It's very hard to compare players, but we're hitting a new generation and evolution of women's baseball. The strength and the power and the speed we see across the diamond. I'm not saying these teams are better than when I played, but this sport is changing, and it's so amazing.
Nalumi Kamatani will lead things off. One of 4 Japanese players, 3, I think you can class as 3 imports, I suppose. Is Kira Kwamoto now, is she a resident now, Kira?
Nalumi and Kira have actually been in Australia for a very long time. So Nalumi played, I believe, for the WA side.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, 7 years ago. So they have been here a very long time.
She lines one over to short, and an easy-looking play for Caitlin Einen.
Off the bat there, I think Nalumi was excited, and then she looked up and saw Caitlin Einen, and she's got to hit it where Caitlin Einen ain't. But, yeah, look, I'm sure Jason Pospisil would love for Kira and Nalumi to get an Australian passport, but real rich tradition of imports coming through the Victorian club system, and they want to play. They want to play for the Samantha Hamilton Victorian Ball Club, and why would you say no to any of them? They are so talented.
Yeah, they certainly are fun to watch. They all play the game the right way, carry themselves very well, elevate people around them. Jazz Bentley trying to get hot with the bat. You know she can, and now she's going to drop down a bunt, and it goes just a little bit foul. But her defense has been tremendous this week, Jazz Bentley.
She is in there for her defense. She works her backside off with her hitting, but her defense in the outfield with Lily, and Lily is really where we see her shine. But we know she can run, and she's tried a few of those running bunts. And it's tough here because you want to put it fine because Megan is such a great fielding pitcher, and we know the ground that Cornish can cover. So it's a bold choice. Got to get it right against this side.
Haggart won a gold medal in 2023, and there's her first strikeout of the qualifying final of 2026.
Up the bat, right fielder.
Lily Simpson got off to a bit of a tough start with the bat in this tournament, but the last 2 games she's had 2 hits apiece. She has started to come into form.
It's one of the things with tournament baseball is you've got to keep riding the wave of players on a hot streak. And while a strategy might, not that I'm saying it wasn't, but the strategy going into the week sometimes will have to change because you have someone who has a hot bat, someone that might not, might have equal, say, fielding opportunities and comparisons. And you've just got to get, if you're swinging a hot stick, they will find a spot for you in the lineup.
This is her 4th year in the Victorian Senior State squad. Certainly in the last couple years, now she's starting to find more and more consistent game time in the starting 9 for Victoria. A testament to her progression, Lily Simpson. Plays for the Doncaster Dragons and the Heathmont Penguins. The Heathmont Penguins, what a team name that is. Played in the Barclay Cup as a junior not long before, but Megan Haggart returns serve from a 1-2-3 inning from Emmy Psyche, and she goes 1-2-3 of her own. Her second strikeout, and we have ourselves a good-looking ball game at Altona. 2-1 Victoria lead. We'll take a quick break and be back on Baseball Plus.
Here's to generations of fearless, unstoppable.
Hit hard on the ground. From his knees, she is safe.
I can. And I will.
Big game for Monet Davis.
And I am. Here's to the next generation. Find your league. Get in the game.
Well, it is a 2-1 game for Victoria. Back-to-back base hits. A triple from Kavanaugh and a double from Abby McClellan. The difference in this ball game right now. 2 swings, 2 runs. Victoria up 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. These are 7-inning games or no new innings after 2 hours and 20 minutes in this competition. Tomorrow, all the chains come off. For the gold medal game, there's no run rules in innings. There's no run rule in time. Although you do have to play to a result because we need a winner of these games. So have to have one team score more than the other. Can't end in a tie like we've seen in this tournament. Almost a couple times. But a few close ones. Well, straight out of youth, Maddie White steps up to the plate. She is 1 for 12, but I love the trust that Kurt Russell is showing his young rising star. Soft contact to right field. Moving under it is Lily Simpson, and there is 1 down.
It's an interesting one there. That actually, Lily Simpson ran all the way in. We know the range that Nalumi Kamatani has, and that where Lily Simpson ended up catching that was right where Nalumi Kamatani sort of started, but you can see the sun maybe out of the eye. Nalumi didn't think that. Thought might have been more on the ball there, but it's in a glove.
Well, Western Australia started 0-2 in this tournament. They had a day to forget on day 1 with lopsided losses to New South Wales and Victoria. They then had to win a couple games in a row just to get in, and Elodie O'Sullivan was a big part of those key wins. 3 hits versus SA in a must-win game, and 2 versus Queensland in a win to propel them to the finals. She was 0 for to start the day. She said in that interview, you can see it on baseball.com.au, that she did not play to her standard on day one and had to kind of check herself a little bit heading into day two, but what adjustments she's made. She's been a big-time contributor for Western Australia in their turnaround from day one. And great to see. Great players can have bad days, and it's big measure in a player of how you bounce back, and that's sort of showing why that kind of exemplifies Elodie O'Sullivan's career right now.
Yeah, I'm just seeing Sam Hamilton do a bit of a shift there. We know Elodie loves pushing the ball on the other side, and she does just that. You can't protect everywhere on this field. The scouting report, they know she likes to go right side. We saw it the other day. We've seen it for a few years for New South Wales, for WA, for the Emeralds, but that's just a poke over the top of Nalumi Kamatani, and things brewing again for WA here.
It's been a career built on resilience for Elodie O'Sullivan, and a great job knocking that to right field. Here's Caitlin Einan. She grounded out her first at-bat, entering today 9 for 14. Yesterday, the 2 for 2 game with 2 home runs, grand slam, 6 RBIs. She was impressive, to say the least. Einan yet to pitch. She's got she can probably throw harder than anybody in this country, around that 77, 78 miles per hour. You know she's going to be used at some point in an important situation in this tournament. We have spent the last 6 days saying, will Smalls pitch tomorrow? Well, today feels like the day, Amy. Maybe.
I think I'm not a betting woman, but I think we're going to see either Smalls or Cornish in this game today. If this goes into the 4th or the 5th and still remains a close ball game, whether they're up or down, I think we will definitely see one of those two. Definitely, if they're up and it's a close ball game, we'll see them. As Emmy Saiki really trying to keep Elodie O'Sullivan close over there. We know not the quickest in the game, but an absolute grinder is Elodie O'Sullivan, and has good jumps, good reads.
Yeah, she's a very smart baseball player. And a veteran, right? She's won gold medals. She's played for the Emeralds. And she's at least getting Psyche to have to multitask on the bump right now. Meanwhile, Einan takes another pitch. It's a 2-1 count. Just missing in. That was a leave all the way from Caitlin Einan. She's in a hitter's count.
Having Cornish back, and obviously the production out of Chloe Atkinson, means if it's just Caitlin Einan in the lineup, she has no one protecting her, but you've got to go through the heart of this order. There is no way they can not go through.
Runner is going. It was fouled away. Yeah, Leah Cornish, who's won a Golden Bat, Chloe Atkinson, who's won a Golden Bat, and Megan Haggart, who has won a gold medal, are the next 3 following Caitlin Einan. There's nowhere to hide in this WA lineup.
No, I think, as we said between the break, I said this is a battle between the bottom half of the lineup. I think the 7, 8, 9s are going to decide this game between Victoria and WA. Interesting to see which of the bottom half can produce.
Einan down the line. It's a fair ball off the base, and it rattles all the way in the corner. Elodie O'Sullivan, a hard turnaround 3. She will score with ease, and Caitlin Einan strikes again. We're tied up at Altona.
Whew. Maybe give half an RBI to the base here. And obviously, Miku Sata went full stretch for that and did take a big bounce off the bag there. And Jazz Bentley, she has to head down to the bullpen to pick that up. That's a long run for her and a long throw. Does miss the cutoff there, but even if she had hit the cutoff, Elodie O'Sullivan is already halfway down. WA, we got ourselves a ball game, Eric.
Leah Cornish now steps up to the plate. The go-ahead run is in scoring position. Back-to-back hits from 2 Emeralds. And a third emerald. Can try to make it a trifecta. And Cornish goes swinging. She'll pop it up in foul territory, and it'll be a 0-2 count.
Such a great at-bat from Caitlin Iden. We saw, I think, 11-team pickoffs of Elodie O'Sullivan at first, and foul. There was a could have been a hit and run, or and just to stay composed like that, and then not try and do too much, and just put it on the ground and tie the ball game.
Popped up to right field, and there is a catch made by Lily Simpson. There's 2 down.
As you said, 2 down. You get through Cornish, and Chloe Atkinson comes up, and we saw Chloe Atkinson go yard last year.
Catcher, Chloe Atkinson.
We've seen, as we said, we've seen Inen go yard twice here, Ashlyn Morris. So this is what the game, as I said earlier, it's evolving, and games can change on one swing of the bat these days. Balls can go yard. In the past, when we played a Nationals here, 2005, the Nationals were played here, and we played on this diamond, and balls didn't leave this yard. And we're seeing, yes, there's different bats, but I think it's disrespectful just to say, yep, they're all using bats with pop these days. They are quality hitters.
Atkinson goes chasing. 0-2.
Because one could argue that the pitching's in getting better as well. The pitching is getting tougher, and girls are just getting better. They're getting stronger. And it's just so good to see.
2 outs to Atkinson. Off the end of the bat goes foul. Atkinson reached on an error on a ball that was put in play, dropped in center field, scored the first run of the game. She's right now 1 behind Lily Kavanaugh for the tournament lead in hits after Kavanaugh tripled in a run. That ball came right in on her hands, and she got quick hands. Chloe Atkinson able to find enough mustard to foul that one away.
She just hit pitch ball. How she got to that?
She loves to hit, Chloe Atkinson. And again, she stays alive in the count.
Great 2-strike hitting here. Obviously, apart from a catch, any ball in the outfield is going to score Caitlin Inen to put WA ahead. So Chloe Atkinson just trying to stay alive, fighting off the things that she doesn't like to try and get Emmy to throw her something she likes.
Atkinson spent some time in the offseason in Japan playing with the Down Under Diamonds, a team of Australian women that went over to play some games in Japan in the Japanese summer.
Emmy just grabbing some, getting a bit of composure there, getting the rosin bag.
Hit a grand slam as a kid in the 2023 Nationals and then won the Golden Bat last year. Swing and a miss. The off-speed gets her. And Psyche allows the 1 run, but also picks up a strikeout in the process. But we're all square at Melbourne Ballpark.
That is big-time WPBL pitching there, but that's a great at-bat by Atkinson. Signed as well. And I said earlier in this game that the Victorian choice of going with Emi Saki, that pitch there is the reason. She's going to keep these WA girls guessing that she's going to be going left and right, up and down. Nothing that they can get their bat to and put it onto the train tracks is what they're hoping.
It is a big day on Baseball Plus. 6 finals games coming your way. You'll have all the action live and free from the Australian Youth Women's Championships. Western Australia, New South Wales, and South Australia are the 3 teams contending for a medal in that. And the record's reset in the youth, so it's a 0-0 record for all 3 teams. They play a mini round robin. Runs allowed is pivotal in that one because that's the first tiebreaker. Runs allowed in games between the teams. If a 3-way tie at 1-1, it will be a fun one to watch. Amy Cannington and Paul Vanderkoff will have the action for you starting at about 11:15. So I hope you booked the day off work and you can sit on your couch flipping between two different games. The games are staggered starts, so we might have different points of finish as well, Amy McCann. I think I'm kind of jealous because we're only watching one field here. I kind of wish I was on the couch able to flip between both.
I'm considering making some renovations to this booth and knocking out the back wall so I can actually look out and watch both. And it might get a bit confusing there, but yeah, I'm a little bit devastated I'm not out there watching the youth. It's been...
Well, luckily we have a Baseball Plus stream we can put up here in the booth, and we can watch the action from backfield.
Oh, it's so good.
Abby Kelly sees a first pitch strike. Megan Haggart still on the mound, and Western Australia, who said their biggest strength at the start of the tournament was their hitting stocks, and we have seen that. And their big question was, can we find the pitching depth? They needed as many arms available and fresh for today and tomorrow, where you could potentially be playing 3 games. And yesterday, in a win over gold medal defending champions New South Wales, young Isabella Clark. Bella Clark was phenomenal, a complete game as a junior, and that was important, Amy, because it freed people up. They didn't have to use Haggart yesterday. They didn't have to use Cornish. They didn't have to use Tyson. They didn't have to use Iden or Maddie Lines. They're all here today as it's a line shot to center and 1 down. The effort that Bella Clark had yesterday cannot be understated, the ripple effect it could have on WA pitching stocks the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, look, that was my biggest question coming into this tournament was where are the WA arms? And where are the WA arms when they take someone out of the field? Does it not then all fall down around them? And when you get a pitcher in tournament championship-style baseball, take a chunk of innings like that, and not in a burn and arm situation, she delivered in an absolute sensational, got the win, took the innings, 6 innings. She was my straight out of youth out of last year, and I've done a lot of work with her in the last 12 months, and she's not a pitcher. But after yesterday, she's a pitcher. We've seen her up the middle for the last couple of years, and she's as strong as they all are, something in the water in WA, and that was an amazing performance from Bella Clark yesterday. It
was a good chat with her. I had a chance to speak to her. It's up on our baseball.com social feed. I recommend going to hear from Bella Clark. She was emotional towards the end of the chat, and she was saying how emotional she was after the game because of how nervous she was to get the ball in that start. Kira Kwamoto fouls one back. She's lived all over the world, has Kira. Ended up playing baseball in upstate New York and also in Florida in an independent league that was kind of mixed into a men's league. Some of the players were former minor leaguers, and that was a big opportunity to launch Kira Kwamoto's game forward.
Oh, she's a bit like me there, jumping out of the way of a hit pitch ball. She's a fantastic hitter. Really, the way that she can command the bat, great eye, perfect number 2 she is. She will get her second walk to bring up Lily Cav. So saying before, Lily Cav, devastating Eric, you and I there, when she did her knee at the showcase in Lismore. And I had Lily on my podcast in the preview episode for Victoria, and she spoke about the hard, like if you want to learn what it takes to come back from a knee injury, a serious injury, and the hard work it takes, what she's done, she did document a lot of it on social media. She spoke about was the last couple of weeks that were actually hardest. The first 12 months weren't.
I wonder why that is. Is it a mindset thing?
She spoke through it, and it was basically she accepted the injury. She knew she had to do all of the work to let it recover, and when it was finally she could start running and she could start doing normal activity. It was the hardest part because she wanted to go back on the field and do games, but she was so close but still so far, and she didn't want to obviously undo all the great work that she'd done for 12 months. So I think when you're like still in the tunnel, but she literally could see the end. But what she's done, like as we said, we saw what she did 2 years ago. I haven't seen a performance like it, and she's just flat out got wheels here. She's so much quicker and faster and better, and I think we're going to hopefully see her roaming centre field for the Emeralds in Rockford in July.
I have a feeling she'll be roaming somewhere, if not center field, maybe short, maybe third. Now, she'll be on the field.
Oh, look, I think she'll be. I definitely think I've I pick my Emeralds and I have my thoughts, and I think, yeah, look, I'd have her out in centre, and I have her an option as coming into second and third as well. She is just, and you know what? We know, and we haven't seen it here, we know she can pitch. So she's an absolute weapon.
1-1 count, the go-ahead run on first base. Kavanaugh to center field. Elodie O'Sullivan calls everybody off, and there is 2 down.
Yeah, not... Look, obviously she delivered in the first at-bat with a triple there, but Lil would probably be disappointed in that. She knows putting a runner, with a runner on first, putting a ball into the air. Elodie O'Sullivan has all the time in the world to pull that down, but 2 out, as we said before. This game has just changed over the last decade, not even. The ability now for girls to put the ball out is just amazing. So 2 out, Abby McClellan, as the Chloe backpick Atkinson, something that all of the teams know she does. Still unable to not allow it to happen. We saw her backpick, I think, 2 runners in the same inning I think was a Queensland game the other day. But yeah, Chloe Atkinson does love a back pick, whether it's to first or to second.
Snaps one back over towards first.
See just how far Abby McClellan is up in the box. She has her front foot very, very close to the front. If we see that side-on angle again in the batter's box, she is right up the front of the box. We see her back foot is at here. So, look, she doesn't have a big step. She better not have a huge big step if she doesn't want to step out of the box when she hits the ball. Just trying to get onto the ball quicker.
Well, she hits a ball hard. It's popped up to right field. Bianca Ramsey has a beat on it and makes the play. 3 flyouts in the inning from Megan Haggart, puts another 0 on the board. But we're all tied up after 3 thanks to an RBI from Caitlin Einen. We reach the last half of the game, and the gold medal spot is very much up for grabs. Don't go anywhere.
Let's have some fun today.
Win or lose, always do your best.
Good job.
Here we go, kid.
Let's do this, girls. We got this.
Let's get the bats going. Find yours. Find yours. Get there, baby. Get there, kid. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Gordon.
Little League. All right, girls, let's go get him. Come on.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Eric Bolnar and 6-time Emerald Amy McCann calling the action for you. The first of 3 AWC Finals games, the first of 6 Finals games you'll see on Baseball Plus in both the Under-16 and the Open Women's Division. Australia's only open-level national championship that we have in tournament styles, I should say. The import pitcher, Emmy Psyche, on the mound, and she has looked sharp so far. She's given up the 3 hits and a walk. And thrown a lot of strikes in her outing, and both Haggart, the WA pitcher, and Psyche, the Victorian pitcher. You figure, Amy, they're going to go as long as they can.
Yeah, I think, as I said, as long as this game stays tied or within a run, I think that the longer it goes, the more likely we're going to see an Einen or a Cornish on the hill for WA. Because that's fouled over the top of us. We know that Cornish has touched 75 here. Einen's touched over 70. And I think they're going to be in Kurt Russell's armoury in this game. We know whoever loses this game, they're not out. They'll be back on the field at later this afternoon. But interesting, Eric, the rivalry of two teams and how it's you might want to keep your cards close to your chest. It's actually a completely different relationship, the complete opposite between head coaches Kurt Russell and Samantha Hamilton. That's straight back. Oh, I've had my glove. Sam and Kurt have developed this really great bond. They actually spent some time at the Australian Institute of Sport as part of a Baseball Australia coach development program, and since then they've just had a really great bond. And last night they were messaging each other, talking tactics, sharing the lineup. They were ribbing each other about the first game, and it was actually really funny. So I got the lineups last night just out of both of them sharing with each other, and they were discussing their tactics about why they were using each of their pitches and just throwing each other jibes. It's just great, the bond. Like, they're going at it today.
Ground ball over to third, and that was a nice play across the diamond. A bit of a tricky hop that was for Saita, and she makes the play look easy, Amy.
She does. We are absolutely in for a treat. It's a clinic at third base today with Leah Cornish and Miku Saita, the Essendon Baseball Club native, with her teammate Abby Kelly next to her. She has been fantastic. We saw her catch a lot during the summer season, some pitching, but Sam Hamilton's trusted her over in the hot corner. A little bit of a cold corner today, though. It's classic mid-April Melbourne. A little bit of a breeze now starting, but a little bit fresh out there today. This is Ashlyn Morris that has stepped in, and she pokes this in the air. That might find it's going to find the edge of the grass and the infield. Little bloop single there for Ashlyn Morris, but we spoke a lot about Ashlyn Morris's power, and we spoke about the matchup of Emi Saki and trying to get them to chase and trying to get them to be, I guess, off balance. And even when they do that, Ashlyn Morris can find that gap, that little Bermuda triangle there, just out of the range of a very rangeful Nalumi Kamatani. This brings up Bianca Ramsey, who crossed I think it's the Nullarbor. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, if I've got my geography wrong, Eric, but she has moved from Adelaide to Perth, the long-time South Australian. We used to see her in the red and gold, but she's looking pretty good in the black and gold here. The WA, the fortunes of, you get back Cornish, you get back O'Sullivan, and getting a nice little injection there, stealing a quality player. I think hit 600, I think, for the South Australian side last year, as Janine Thompson calls that a strike. Now 1 and 2. One thing we know with Emi Saki is Emi Saki will... That's probably a little bit close for comfort if you're a WA fan over there. But look, one thing we know about the Japanese native pitchers is they can pitch for days. So Emi Saki there will be a lot in her arm today, and that's a great move from her. And there's other things as well, like, as we said, Kurt and Sam, they're thinking for today, this game, they're thinking for a potential game this afternoon, and then they're thinking, hopefully, obviously, for a game that is shot in the air, and Abby Kelly will come across. No chance of getting Ashlyn Morris at first, but they're planning ahead. So Sam's probably thinking along the lines of, if they were to get up by a lot here, they could take Emi Saki in. Emi Saki would be an option to use tomorrow. Such is the quality of some of these pitches. So many of this tournament management, Eric, is about roster management and thinking about, okay, well, how do we win this game? But how do we win this game in a way that allows us to set ourselves up in the best roster management way to win the next game? And if they do have to go through the game this afternoon, either team, how do they get out of today's doubleheader in the best possible shape? At the end of the day, you just want to get out of today, whether it's winning this game or winning the third game. You've just got to get out of today into tomorrow, and then anything can happen, as we've seen. Over the last few years, Victoria, they were undefeated in 2 years, and they just lost the gold medal game. They've only lost 4 games in 4 years, has Victoria.
But only the 1 gold to show for it. They're hoping
more medals,
that changes.
More medals than any other state, though. They haven't. I will say they didn't finish 5th. There was a worry there when WA won and then came 5th, and New South Wales won and then came 5th.
The curse of the gold medal.
Victoria won in 2024, and they're like, well, that's it. We're coming 5th in 2025. And then last year brought the most inexperienced roster I've ever seen in Victoria, and we're tied in the 5th. They were basically one pitch, one hit, one out, potentially, of upsetting New South Wales. And it's been a pretty consistent 5 years here from Victoria.
They've guaranteed themselves a medal again. You cannot finish worse than bronze if you have made it. That ball in the dirt. Full count. Be a good chance for Ashlyn Morris to get a jump over at first base on this pitch incoming to Peyton Newman. Well, a walk, and it puts 2 runners aboard, and what a moment for one of the youngest players on Western Australia's roster in a game that determines who goes to the gold medal. Madison White.
Yeah, Madison White, straight out of youth. Was my straight out of youth class prediction. To see a breakout year, she was still is an extremely talented catcher in the youth ranks, but obviously with Chloe Atkinson, she's just in her rookie year here. She's been playing a lot of left field. Good opportunity here now. Look, I didn't have this opportunity, Eric, to come and play as a youth and then come into the elite women's. The women's nationals didn't start until 1999, and I first played in 2002, and we were all adults. And now we're seeing all these kids come in. So I don't understand what it must be like to walk in as a teenager, finishing my homework and facing a WPBL player. Like, I think
she got a 6-year jump in age when she debuted and you debuted, isn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, like my first nationals, I was 23.
Yeah, and she's 17?
It didn't exist before that. Like, Tarina Stokes debuted for Australia at 37 because she was born too early. There's things like that. Like, it's amazing we have this now, but I wonder what it's like.
That pops up towards the right side. Well, Psyche's done a good job all game of getting ahead in counts. And she's sitting 0-2 again. This is a big out. If the ball's put in play, it could score a run. It also would turn the lineup over for a 3rd time. Love these games on the finals days. You try to be so coy with how you manage your pitching staff to get to this point. But it's very much let it ride when you get to games with stakes. That ball is missing upstairs. At the beginning of the week, you're thinking about the back end of the tournament and how you can line yourself out best to win a gold medal. And now we are in the back end of the tournament, so don't have to be as long-sighted.
That is
pitch on the outside, a big-time strikeout to end the inning for Emmy Psyche. She's got 3 on the day. She strands a pair of runners and keeps it a 2-2 game heading to the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, I think sometimes as a pitcher, I have been on the hill, and you can sit there thinking, I can see Elodie O'Sullivan on deck. I can see Caitlin Einan in the hole. I've got 2 out. I've got runners on 1st and 2nd. I can't walk it. Rather than having not thinking about what you don't want to do. And she just went straight down the guts with that breaking ball and just trusted herself. And that's why we are going to see her in the WPBL in a few months. And for Victoria, that's great news. And they go to to the middle of their order now.
Yeah, Jamie, Bastian, Saita, and then Kamatani. The 1, 2, 3 that will be due after the 5, 6, 7 part of the order. But they'll lead things off. That'll be the question when each of these pitchers face a lineup for a 3rd time. If managers try to make any adjustments. I don't see anybody warming in the Victorian bullpen at the moment, so it would suggest that they'll run out Psyche again.
Yeah, I'd say Psyches are going to be in this for as long as possible, and they will be hoping to get, as we said, if they can get 5 out of Megan Haggett into the 6th, and this game is still tied, or even if they're up or down by 1, we're going to see an Einan or a Cornish. I think we'll see Sarkis for as long as possible. And Samantha Hamilton has a lot of options down there. I can see the Victorian bullpen. You can see a lot of beanies and hoodies down there, probably jumping into the Stephen Black backpack of snacks. There's a
Is he a snacker?
He has a backpack of snacks, does Stephen Black. That's a hard thing to say 5 times. Yeah, if you're looking for something to raid, find Stephen Black's goodie snack pack.
Pitch on the outside to Jamie Bastian to start the inning. Victoria has run through this tournament unbeaten. Fly ball to left field, but having to run all the way back is White, and it drops behind her, and it's a leadoff double for Jamie Bastian. And White might have just lost that a little bit as it left the bat.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's so hard these days. Look, I roamed that outfield for Victoria for 13 years, and I still have nightmares from some of the hitters like Katie Gaynors, Christina Krepolds, people like that just cause havoc out there. And these days, the girls can put the ball onto the train track. They can hit hard shots, so sometimes it's really hard to know where to stand. But I think as a straight out of youth, I think a few more years under her belt in the outfield, a drop step there, I think she would have had that. But just probably the inexperience of a rookie out there probably allowed Jamie Bastian to get that. But still, hard hit ball from JB.
Well, Seta steps up to the plate. It's the first time that Victoria have had a leadoff runner on base today. Victoria can put up runs in a hurry. As soon as the wheels start turning, they become hard to stop, akin to an 18-wheeler falling off a cliff. Once that thing gets going, it can't be stopped. We'll see if they can start rallying here.
Yeah, and this will be... I'm just going to put a little asterisk in my score sheet now here, Eric, because we're now at like about 50 pitches for Megan Haggett now. And look, Megan Haggett's one of my favourite players because she's the workhorse. She'll go behind the dish, she'll go on the mound.
Play third, play outfield.
She will. And she's a player you form a team around, but she's also, that carries a lot of work during the week. So this is the inning here. I think for Victoria, if Victoria can eke on a couple, get through down the bottom, but bring it back to the top. As we see Kurt Russell, I feel the decision here for Kurt is, does he leave her in too long, or does he go to one of his big arms? Does he go to Caitlin? Does he go to Leah? And how that then moves? Because if we go to Caitlin and Leah, he has considerations of how does that infield then move around. And we know just how good Iron and Cornish have been on the left side. So I feel he has to go to one of those two.
Well, he's got to get someone warmed up first.
Yeah, there is no activity in that. There is no activity in a bullpen. It's an empty WA bullpen. It is a hoodie and beanie bullpen for Victoria. So I think this right now, we know Nalumi Kamatani is one of the hardest hitters. I've faced her plenty of times this year. She's a very, very hard hitter to get out. So if Victoria can grind in this inning, get a few runs up, I think this right now could be a game-defining part of the game.
Well, Amy McCann, you said at the beginning of this game would be won or lost with the 7, 8, 9 part of the lineup, the bottom third. Right now it is the 7, 8, 9 part of the lineup for Victoria, and you can't ask for a better opportunity with no outs, a runner on first and second in a tie game. How they execute here, like you said, will go a long way.
As you can see, Nalumi Kamatani she's doing her team job. The bunt there, she bunted a ball that nearly hit her in the face, but she will have confidence in her bat control. She just needs to keep it away from the pitch to get it down, and Megan Haggett having trouble throwing a strike here, or throwing a strike on that pitch, I should say. So just getting the signal from Jared Rogers is Nalumi. I don't know what the Victorian signals are, actually. I was just having a sneaky look there, but see, Cornish is just in front of the base, so she's ready to charge. We used to, in this situation, bunt it down the third base line. That's where you want to go in this situation. These days, they're teaching everyone just bunt it in a V, so keep it away from the pitcher, and that there, Nalumi Kamatani, she gets it done. Doesn't put too much on it to allow Peyton Newman to come in and cross a diamond to throw Jamie Bastion out at third. So Nalumi Kamatani, great team player, to be the cap to the Essendon Baseball Club member there, playing against her old side. She was in this team in 2019 for WA, pick-up player.
Now Jazz Bentley has a few options on how to score this run. The infield comes in. A fly ball should score the run. A base hit might score 2. Big moment in the ball game here in the bottom of the 4th. She goes swinging first pitch.
Impressive there for Jazz. Look, if I'm in this at-bat right now, she's wearing my number 31 in honour of me, so I'm going to put myself in her shoes right now. She say the infield is in, so when the infield is in, ground ball's not going to get it done. So she needs to be looking for a pitch that she can drive to the outfield in any way.
She's behind 0-2.
Ball to the outfield with Jamie. Smart runner on third base. We'll score a run for Victoria, and look, if it gets through, that's a couple of runs. But 0-2 now.
Big pitch incoming from Megan Haggard. And Jazz Bentley, I should say. Does
too many JBs.
Too many JBs. I'm looking at one JB standing on third base, another JB in the batter's box right now, but Jazz Bentley just stayed alive.
I play with both of them at the Doncaster Dragons, so it's, yes, it does get confusing with the 2 JBs. But, yeah, 0-2 here. She needs to fight. She needs to try and see if she can either poke something through the infield that is up, but still looking for that pitch she can drive. Minimum job here needed from Jazz for Victoria.
Swing and a miss. Megan Haggard comes through with a big-time strikeout, and she's an out away from getting out of an almighty jam.
Yeah, so right now, this Lily Simpson, as we said, number 9, this is going to be won and lost by the bottom lineup. We see JB just comes off third base for the speed-up rule. That's Ash Patton coming into base run. Sam Hamilton sticking with the... Look, Lily Simpson is a superb outfielder, one of the best, I think, in the competition. And she's had a hot bat. Let's see if she can help her Victorian side here.
Victoria had runners on first and second and nobody out. A few cracks to drive in a run and go ahead in a game that determines who will play for gold.
It's always that thing, you're looking at first and second with no one out. If you don't bunt in that situation, you have to bunt in that situation. But then if you don't score, everyone's like, oh, if you didn't bunt. It's something where in this situation, that was definitely a bunt situation.
Megan Haggard started off the inning in a precarious situation. Now she's a strike away from keeping a donut on the board. And she gets her. Megan Haggard buckles down and gets back-to-back strikeouts with the go-ahead run in scoring position, and this game stays tied through 4.
I said just before Kurt Russell came out, when they had runners on first and second with none out, I put a little mark in my score sheet because I said this was the game-defining part. Which way would it go? Would it be Victoria eking through the bottom half of that lineup and getting it back up to the top to Kelly, Kumoto and Kavanagh, or would it be Megan Haggart doing exactly what she just did? A begging opportunity has gone begging for Victoria there, but Megan Haggart with 4 innings, as we said, it's going to be very interesting to see how much more they can get out of her, and when we will see either Cornish or Iron, I feel that is coming.
We're tied going to the final 3 innings of the qualifying final. Don't go anywhere on Baseball Plus.
Family violence in our country, it's a massive problem.
Sporting groups are creating their own domestic violence action plans and they're making a difference. I've seen people step up and I've seen people speak out.
Clubs all over Australia should have an action plan to stop domestic violence.
It's definitely important for us to come together and say no more to this form of abuse.
Please talk with your family, talk with your mates about what you can do.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Eric Ballner, Amy McCann keeping your company from Diamond 1 all day. Winner, there's 3 games. Winner of this game goes straight to the gold medal game. Loser will play in the preliminary final, with the preliminary final going at 2:30 this afternoon. They won't know their opponent until after the New South Wales and Queensland game, which will start at about 11:30 local time. Those games on finals days always subjected get pushed out a few minutes based on play. You kind of see the initial schedule, 9 and 11:30. It's an ambitious start time for that 11:31 because this game could go 2.5 hours theoretically, but you started early and you hope things work out. Ball hit to center field, well played by Lily Kavanaugh. But that's the scheduled start time, and right now we're well on track for that, Amy McCann. That's why we do it.
We are, and as we just said, a brilliant performance from Megan Haggett to get out of a jam there, and 4 great innings from her. And importantly, when that kind of momentum happens, you look down as a Victorian team and you're like, oh man, they're at the top of their lineup. It's just like that shift. So a very, very important out for the Victorian side, for Victorians fans, was that fly ball from Elodie O'Sullivan out there to Lily Kavanaugh.
Well, both teams are sort of mirroring each other in this game. Both teams have left 4 runners on base in the game. Both teams left 2 runners on base in the 4th. Both teams have had starting pitchers that have allowed a couple of runs through 4 innings, and both teams begin the 5th at the top of the lineup. Victoria with the best scoring chance in that last inning, but both teams have still left the same number stranded. It is a very close game on paper and in reality. And how about that from Emmy Psyche? Gets Caitlin Einan down on strikes. Einan was the one that had the game-tying double in the 3rd, and she's off to a quick start in the 5th.
She is, and as I said, you put little notes next to the things in the game, and that if you get Caitlin Einan swinging, you must have some good pitches in your arsenal. And Emmy Saki, if it's anything to go by just that at-bat there, I think she might just be warming up. We know, I think she has a lot left in her arm, and I've just taken a sneaky look down in the bullpen, and that looks like Paula Doherty warming up with a hoodie. She has taken the beanie off, though.
So Doherty on standby, as it is a jam shot to center field. Kavanaugh had that read like a book, and it is a very quick 1, 2, 3 inning from Emmy Psyche, and she's gone through 5 innings, allowing just the 2 runs. It's a quality start so far, and the Victorian Bats at the top of the lineup will be able to go to work a 3rd time through versus Abby McClellan.
Yeah, five innings there, and like her pitch count is now at 89, and that inning there is not what WA would have wanted, because that short inning, if she gets pushed through that inning, as we see Paula Doherty in the bullpen, she gets pushed through a little bit more of that inning, probably doesn't come out again. But an 89 for an Emmy Saki is not like an 89 for other people. It's just different, and they're just built different in Japan, and she's going to go as far as she possibly can go. But Victoria's bullpen manager Stephen Black, one of the stars actually on this field in the old ABL, he'll get these charges warming down there as well. And look, might be warming up, just a slow warm up. It is quite cold down here, so we see Megan Haggett back out on the hill. And as I said, I'm a big Megan Haggett fan on the field. She's just, as I said, one of those people you build your franchise around. I would have her roam in my outfield in centre field any day, but there are so many good outfielders, as we saw that great catch by Lily Kavanaugh before.
Well, sitting behind home plate is Jason Pospisil watching this game, and he's got a tricky decision to make when it comes to selecting the 20 Emeralds that will represent Australia at the 2026 group stage. If they qualify for 2027, it's a different team.
When they qualify for 20, don't
when.
use
We'll
if.
go when, yeah. So it'll be a different team. There will be some players that won't be on both of those teams. So we're only talking 2026. But Haggard is certainly, she was an Emerald last time. I think that positional versatility in the pitching puts her in good favor, but I'm sure she is on a short list of some potential players to play for the Emeralds again in 2026.
She's in my team.
She's in your team.
She is in my team.
I've got to name my team.
That's one of the things I've always loved. Even when I was playing, I always loved putting my teams together, and whether it was the state teams or Australian teams and now not playing, I love putting it together. I love when the rosters come out for nationals. It's just so exciting. And as we said, it is a World Cup year, which, look, there is some conversation sometimes around players should have to play every year. And look, I agree with that, but at the same time, it's a very costly sport to play. And I don't care if they come back every second year. Just want them to come back. I'm here for it.
You want in good form. You want,
and you want to be the best. You have to play the best. You have to beat the best. And if we want to contest at that World Cup in a few months' time from now, we need the best in the country here contesting against each other.
Abby Kelly has played in a couple of World Cups in her time, including a memorable start as a pitcher versus USA for the Emeralds. I think she was maybe 7 years old when she pitched in that game, it felt like. No, she was, 16 at the time, and now she knocks one to second. But that was one of the most iconic moments in the Abby Kelly illustrious career.
She was 2016 in Korea.
16.
She went over as a 16-year-old, and that was actually my first. I did 6 World Cups, and then I retired, and she came in and 6.1 innings, I think it was, and they beat the USA, I think 10-2, knocked USA out of the group stage. As an Australian, that was always fantastic. It was only the second time in history that we'd beaten the USA. The previous time I was in that side in Venezuela, we beat the USA, I think something like 23-5. We absolutely whitewashed them on the way to silver. It was fantastic.
Kira Kwamoto to right field, and that is well played as well by Bianca Ramsey. And now it's a quick start to this inning for Megan Haggart. These teams, Amy, I said at the last inning, they are mirroring each other right now.
Yeah, as you said, that after that great performance by Megan Haggart to get out of runners on first and second with none out, there was a 3 up, 3 down for the top of the order for WA, and now it looks like Lily Kavanagh is the only thing stopping that happening for Victoria, but we know what she can do.
Well, she already has a triple that scored a run in the first inning. Victoria did all their scoring all the way back in the first inning. Kavanagh and McClellan combined for a triple and a double to put them up 2-1. Einen tied it in the third with an RBI double, and now teams have traded zeros. Both teams left a pair of runners on in the fourth inning. Now we're here in the late stages of the fifth inning of a 7-inning game in the qualifying final. Kavanagh, ground ball to third. Cornish scoops, fires. The stretch from Newman in time. And another return serve. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Megan Haggart and the Western Australian defense. We are tied up with 2 innings to go and a gold medal spot on the line. You have 30 seconds to put the popcorn in the microwave and warm up that coffee. We'll be back with inning number 6 after this.
There's a breed out there that don't fit the mold. They don't see a challenge. No failures. Just lessons. And while you might not have seen it, they've been working. They don't fit in. They're happy to be different. Excuses. What's that? They don't need to be the best. Just better than they were yesterday. And while some see different, we see better. PTP. Different. Better.
We're back at Melbourne Ballpark as the defending Golden Bat winner, who's making a good case for another one this year, Chloe Atkinson, steps into the batter's box. And a first pitch swing down the line goes foul, and that's what you see on screen, the vision provided by Spacequake Sports. If they had a camera up in this booth, you would see Well, I'm always so calm, cool, and collected, Amy McCann. But I'm looking over to my right at you, and I see a seat, and there's not much being sat on. You are quite literally on the edge of a seat. That's where the expression must come from. You could not be more on the edge. You're still sitting down, but I think that's a good way of describing the game. I don't know how more edge of the seat you can be.
This is why we play. This is just, I love this. And this is a game, look, that you win, you get the whole rest of the day off, and it's getting a little bit cold here for everyone's liking. I think there's some rain there's definitely some rain in the train tracks. So you're not out, but this is like, we are 2-all. We've got a WPBL pitcher to a WPBL batter.
And that WPBL batter pokes one to the outfield. This is what has made Chloe Atkinson so good. I was looking at her spray chart before the game began. She's got a nice little spread from left, center, and right. She's hit balls hard to the wall, but here she just sticks with it on a pitch on the outside and hits it to the outfield. And WA, for the first time today, have a leadoff base runner.
Yeah, as you said, Chloe Atkinson, she has put the ball into play all over the field, and it's hard you've only got 3 people out there. It's a big outfield. You can't be everywhere. As
Megan Haggart over towards short. They're going to double up the runner. A line drive to Abby Kelly, and Chloe Atkinson had already taken off. It doesn't get much of an easier double play than that, and she executes it to perfection.
You might want to say she just got abbied.
She just got abbied.
And look, we've seen a lot of the teams this week really aggressive on the base paths and that hit and run there. And look, if it works, it's fantastic. When it doesn't work, it's just unlucky. That was unlucky for WA there. That was a really nice shot there from Megan Haggart. But when you are already in motion at first base, it is very, very hard to stop and turn around. And Abby Kelly, she's, as we said, throws strikes on the hill for the World Cup and threw a strike across the diamond. And I feel I've got my purple highlighter where I put the little marks where I think the game, this is the pivotal mark, this is the pivotal mark. And it's like, this just keeps flipping and changing. This is why I can't sit down.
Yeah, that was a big moment. You finally get a leadoff runner on, and the ball wasn't hit too poorly from Megan Haggart at all. But, yeah, just right to the shortstop. A nice play from Abby Kelly. And now a hit by pitch, and that play looms large even more now because it would have been runners on first and second. Let's take a look at the replay if we got it. Yep, just got her on the shin.
I did see the reaction from Jamie Bastian asking the umpire there just what she thought of that.
It's because Ashlyn Morris got hit by a ball and she didn't react.
I think kind of think the front leg might have just come across the plate there, and that's chopped on the ground.
Ground ball to short. A flip from Abby Kelly, who is the center of this inning. A big double play and the flip to second. And it is no damage done in the 6th. And Victoria have a chance to score here and then be 3 outs away.
Yeah, this is, again, the pivotal part. I see the rain. There's some real sketchy weather sort of looking out in the distance. The wind is picking up. It's cold. And I think right now, Victoria scores a run here. I think in this scheme of things, we always talk about you just have to win by 1 run. That is Samantha Hamilton's mantra. We know they beat them by about 20 runs in the first time they met. That means nothing today. But you just need to win by 1 run. And in today's game of 1 run is huge. I think 2 runs here right now from Victoria. They start off with Abby McClellan. And I called it earlier in the game. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. I thought we'd see Leah Cornish here today. Leah Cornish is on the hill. I said if it was going to be tied, if they got 5 out of Megan Haggart, they would be excited. And here we see in the 6th. I should coach. I should commentate.
Well, this is a big decision. You knew, you said it. If it was close, you're going to one of your 2 guns in the field, and that is Einan and Cornish, and these 2 Australian women, I think, can probably throw harder than anyone who's in Australia right now. Jen Beacom, obviously, over in the United States. But Iden was being touching 78 miles per hour. But in the game, it was 70. Her fastball was sitting 75 miles per hour, Leah Cornish was. And if you take a look at the metrics of the World Cup finals last year, or the last World Cup cycle, the hardest throwing woman was 76 miles per hour in that group, which means Leah Cornish is quite literally in some of the world-class velocity in terms of pitchers in the women's game.
Yeah, oh, look, this is why I sit up here now, so I don't have to face that. But, yeah, look, Jen Beacom, she's been clocked at high 80s in training, and look, 75 is massive. And we see Bella Clark has come in over there at third base for Leah Cornish. And look, this is the strategy of this game I love, and Kurt Russell would have been waiting for this moment.
McClellan, jam shot. It was off her ankle. Now, Abby McClellan, it's a real test. That's the test here for the batters, Amy, is the velocity. I think we've been looking at some of the charts that Jason Pospisil and crew have been behind home. I think most of the velos around that mid-60s to high 60s, low 70s. This is a step up from there. So as a batter, it is an adjustment. As McClellan takes another pitch, what adjustments do you have to make when a fastball comes in at maybe 10 miles per hour faster than what she was seeing yesterday?
Yeah, look, they've all got their loads, and I see Abby McClellan is still standing up at the front of the box. So we saw Megan Haggett. Megan Haggett can still shove, but not
and a swing and a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout.
Yeah, obviously when you're going from maybe 68 right up to 75, being up at the front of the box is probably not the approach I would take. I never moved around a lot in the box because I feel like I needed to be able to hit the same and consistent. I wasn't one to choke up when I was 2 out. I would move up when I was doing a running bunt or a bunt to bring the field in sort of more behind me. But look, you've all of them had their preparation. They have to get back. They have to coil. They have to get ready. They just have to be firing. One thing is, when I faced a pitch that was faster, I would tell myself to be looser, because what can happen is you can actually try and swing the bat harder and all of your muscles can tense up, and that's a elite pitch on the outside there from Cornish. And a tense muscle is a slow muscle, so I used to tell myself stay loose, so I'll just hold the bat a bit differently and just try and be loose on my feet, just to try and be quicker with the bat against the faster pitching.
Cornish, a steady diet of fastballs as this one is fouled away. That's the kind of player she is, and she'd be like that for the Emeralds.
I love this. We knew this was coming, and we get it. I feel
something to make the batters uncomfortable, though, Amy, is what
that's the job of a pitcher. I feel like we've cheated this, Eric. We haven't paid admission. I just feel like we need some popcorn in here, and there's good popcorn downstairs too.
Been a good low-scoring game. Both teams have had their moments. This is a fly ball to center field, and it's 2 outs since Leah Cornish has entered the game. WA sensing an opportunity to win this game and go straight to the gold medal. If they can get through this, they would have Caitlin Iden potentially lined up for a start, which would be the stars aligning in a physical and metaphorical sense. But they have a long way to go to get there. They have to keep Victoria at bay. They're going to have to score themselves, and this Victorian lineup has been the best all week, a batting average of around 470. And Seita takes a pitch just over the plate, and it's a 1-1 count.
But as you said, this it's great. We're all here talking about Cornish, but let's just not forget the performance of Megan Haggett today, because that's what's brought. As I said at the start of the game, they would have been hoping for 5 innings and to be tied or look ahead, obviously. But I think we all expected this was going to be a scoreline in this game. I think it's what we all hoped. So Megan Haggett doing that, going back to, as you said, what Isabella Clark did yesterday, what Ava Tyson did the day before.
She drops in something off base, just missed.
It's not just something that happens without construct. And Kurt Russell and Samantha Hamilton, all the coaches here, they have to sit here, and it's like they're playing chess while all of us are playing checkers. And it's why I would never manage at this level.
Cornish throwing a 75-mile-per-hour fastball right now. That is what's coming in on the live reads on the radar gun from my relay down below. Her slider right now coming in at between 61 and 63 in a main 2-pitch mix at the moment for Cornish. But Haggart 5 innings of quality start, allows 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 runs. 2 of those hits came back-to-back in the first inning. Kavanaugh and McClellan, a triple and a double. Caitlin Einen tied it in the third. Victoria threatened in the fourth with runners on first and second, nobody out. Hager got them out of a jam, and now Cornish trying to send it to a 7th, all squared up. And she misses on the outside, and Victoria have a base runner.
It's the old, doesn't matter how fast you throw a ball for, Eric. When she throws it down the guts, you can't hit it, but you've got to make sure you get it around the zone or at least enough to nibble. And when you throw that kind of speed, you don't need to be in the zone. You can be just outside. And quite often, when someone comes on like this, there's a lot of people that just go, just get your bat in the way. Because you get the bat in the way with these bats and things, that could go out into the outfield. But just getting the timing to get your barrel in and through the zone in the timing as well. Look, she does have she has a nice action. As we see,
runner is going. They throw over and they make the play. Chloe Atkinson, what a throw! Takes the go-ahead run off the base paths and ends the inning.
Well, what happens when you throw 75 from the mound? It's that fraction of a second that you get quicker to get the ball to the catcher, and that is an absolute fantastic throw. The pop time there from Chloe Atkinson. So you talk about the speed and the delivery from Leah Cornish, the pop time from Chloe Atkinson. And as we said, I think Chloe Atkinson's performances with the bat over the last few years has actually overshadowed her performance as a catcher. She's a quality catcher in what I think is a real golden era at the moment for catchers and hitting catchers, fielding catchers in this country. It's, absolutely fantastic for WA there. That was, again, the purple highlighter. Another moment, Eric, which is going to be the moment that is the actual moment that does change this game.
A go-ahead run has to be scored at some point. We're going to the final inning of a game to determine who goes to the gold medal. Victoria have a new pitcher. We'll tell you about her when we come back.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Paula Doherty, the new pitcher on the mound. You would have seen her make her AWC debut just a couple years ago for Queensland at the time. She's from far north Queensland. She pitched for Queensland. She pitched for the Bandits in a very memorable game that you and I called in Lismore at the Showcase, where she saved a key must-win game for Brisbane, got them to the gold medal game where they eventually won. She made the move to Victoria. She plays club ball here. And in her second year playing for Victoria, compared to last year, velo looks up. There's a little bit of cut now to her fastball, and she has been excellent in this tournament so far, not allowing a run in 4 innings.
She has. She's really found a home down here at the Newport Rams, but also with this Victorian team. She's formed a really good bond with Samantha Hamilton and just loves Sam as a coach. Says that she's really given a belief, like she's just made her really confident. She loves the team. I know Queensland are desperate to get her back, but Paula Doherty is not going anywhere. She absolutely loves this Victorian environment, and she's going to be a leader on this Victorian team for years.
Peyton Newman will lead things off. It's the 8-9-1 coming up for Western Australia. If they can get just one base runner on between Newman and White, that opens up a window with O'Sullivan and Einen lurking behind them in the lineup.
We see Emisaki does go across to third base, so Miku Sata is out of the game.
And what a performance Psyche had on the mound. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and has left giving her team a chance. The bats will have to settle it, because the pitchers have been phenomenal in this game so far. We have ourselves a classic on the first of 3 finals today. Towards third base and immediately tested. The ball seems to find you in the WPBL draft pick. And Emmy Psyche across the diamond, and the leadoff runner is sat down.
It's funny, I've got a big smile on my face up here just because I'm just loving these plays, whether it's Cornish, whether it's Saito, whether it's Psyche. And you look at the big smile that she has on her face. She just loves her baseball, as they all do. She wears that big smile on her face.
Maddie White. Oh, no, Isabella Clark, I should say. I think this is.
Yes, so Isabella Clark came in to third for Cornish.
So Clark in the game with her first at-bat. She was very much an unsung hero in the game yesterday, pitching 6 innings in WA's runaway win. They ran away late versus New South Wales. And Isabella Clark, a junior, pitched a complete game in a finals. You would know better than me, but that couldn't have happened too many times before in the AWC. So much has to line up for that to happen. You have to be below the age of 18. You have to be given the ball, and then you can't be taken out. There'd be a handful, but that would be a rare feat, a small list. I would love to develop that list, but she was great yesterday. Bella Clark grounds over to second, and how about the work from Paula Doherty? 2 quick ground balls and 2 outs.
Yeah, I think I'd probably hazard a guess to say maybe a Britt Hepburn, a Mindy Latimer, maybe a Renee Stromaitis, some of these great young pitchers.
Yeah. Tabrett,
I think
Kelly.
A Tabrett, maybe a Jacinda Barclay. Look, we have been blessed with a lot of very young pitching talent. Beck Crosby.
I'm sure one of them has done it. A couple of them probably have.
Send me a message. I'm sure Maddie McGuire's watching this. Look, I've been getting messages from them all week. So
yeah, if you've pitched a complete game as a junior, let us know. I'd love to develop.
And I'm sorry I don't have that set. I've got a lot of stats in my head.
But it'd be a good one to check out. I mean, I know for sure someone would have done it, but there's been so many great junior performances. But so much has to line up for that to happen, right? Like, you have to be... Game situation has to dictate that. There's going to be no relief appearance. There's going to be no close. It has to be a final. You have to be lined up for the game. You have to be under 18. So even if you are one of these great players, you could have pitched 6-inning shutout and then been taken out for, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that have to line up. So who are you? Let us know. I would love to have that list out there because it is such a cool accomplishment, and I'm not trying to take any way away from Bella Clark because she was phenomenal yesterday as Elodie O'Sullivan is ahead 3-0. Can she get on base for the superstar, Caitlin Eynon? Yes, she can. And in the 7th inning, arguably this country's biggest star at the moment, who had 2 homers, a grand slam, and 6 RBI yesterday, the game-tying RBI double back in the 3rd, has an opportunity with the go-ahead run at first.
Well, I spent some time with her yesterday watching the little Junior Burger WA team out there, and she told me the secret to her success. Eric?
Eynon, first pitch, swinging, it drops in for a base hit. It won't score a run, but O'Sullivan will push for 3. Here's the throw. O'Sullivan slides in. Eynon has her 2nd hit of the day, and Leah Cornish has a runner in scoring position.
Oh, Caitlin Eynon, there's a reason everyone, older than her, younger than her teammates, probably some of the Victorians too, she is everybody's idol, and that is the reason why. She just comes up. Her bat, it sounds like a newspaper, but I tell you what, she could probably do the same with a newspaper. And Caitlin Eynon told me yesterday, I said, man, what are you doing? And she goes, shocking milk and biceps, Amy. So I'm doing a shout out. She has had to switch to the Big M down here. She's a big Masters milk fan in WA. So Big M and Masters, I think we need a sponsorship.
That ball slips away, and Jamie Bastian does enough to find it. A ball behind the backstop would score a run, and it does allow Caitlin Eynon, who's a very good runner, to scamper to second base. So 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. The Emerald, Leah Cornish, up to bat. She's already pitched a scoreless relief inning. And Cornish drives one into foul territory. McClellan had a look, but that ball was much too far out of her grasp, and it will be a 1-1 count.
How good is this? Leah Cornish up to bat, runners on second and third. It's a tied ball game, and a game that you're not getting knocked out, but this feels like a gold medal game. It could be the gold medal game we see tomorrow. Oh, this is just so good.
Kurt Russell, the head coach of Western Australia, texted Sam Hamilton, the head coach of Victoria, last night. Let's go put on a show. And they have delivered some great theater today.
Pretty much word for word what he said.
Just missed, and it is a hitter's count to a woman who literally has a trophy that says, I am the best hitter in Australia. 3-1 count. 2 runners in scoring position. Tie game in a final. Check swing. She went, and it is a full count, which means both runners will get a good jump. A base hit probably scores 2.
That right there, that pitch is why I think Jason Pospisil might be having a look at Paula. That was a pitcher's pitch on the outside.
Full count. Doherty to Cornish.
Nice little step off there from Paula.
These are pressure moments from a young player in Doherty on the mound. And she just misses. It loads the bases for last year's Golden Bat winner in Chloe Atkinson. 3 straight base runners with 2 outs. Nothing has crossed home yet. And it doesn't get much more dramatic than this. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Final inning. National championship. And the Golden Bat winner up to the plate. It's literally when you're in the park playing catch with your friends. That's what you're saying. Your bases loaded last inning in a national championship.
Well, I've actually had a walk-off in a game on this very field at a national championships. In this game, this very round, we played New South Wales, and I hit a walk-off to end the game. So it was pretty exciting. This is what we play for. Like, this is absolutely amazing to see Samantha Hamilton going out and talking to Paula. They've developed a really great relationship over the last few years, those two. And look, at this situation right now, they just want to try and induce a ground ball, some soft
out at any bag.
Strikeout number 1, soft contact in the infield, or a fly ball in the outfield. So they know the job they need to do, but this is danger right now with 2 out and the speed. I mean, Leah Cornish has got Aaron Judge like the way that she can run is amazing. So anything in a gap, if we see the outfielders' numbers, this is going to be a 3-run blast. So she's gone yard on this field, Eric.
Leah Cornish on first has set up Chloe Atkinson to go swinging, and Doherty hits her with a breaking ball, and it's an 0-1 count. Cornish will not go down wondering. She is 1 for 3 with a strikeout today. Helped drive in a run on an error in center field for the first run of the game.
I can see Emerald Lel Anglin up in the crowd. She is a Paula's Newport teammate, Victorian legend. Just pacing like we all are.
Hard hit ball down the line. It is hit hard to left. It's back, and it is gone! A grand slam! Chloe Atkinson breaks the tie in the last. WA in front.
Wow. I just said she had gone yard on this field, and she did it again. That was absolutely tonked. Jazz Bentley has got no chance of getting that. The bullpen, you can see the Queensland team. You can see who they're cheering for today. Chloe Atkinson. She's just going, on and who? Cornish who? It's the Chloe show.
Unbelievable. Chloe Atkinson entered the game tied for the tournament lead in hits and 2 behind the tournament lead in RBIs. Well, she's got 2 hits and now takes the outright lead in hits. She's now got a home run, and she's jumped Jess Maslin for RBIs. She's got her team with a foot in the door in the gold medal game and her with one hand on a second straight batting title. Unbelievable, Amy McCann.
They got the first 2 outs of the inning, Victoria. Seems like a lifetime ago now. Newman and Clark retired with infield hits, and then a walk, a single, another walk, and then that absolute, a claw bomb. Whew.
One of the moments of the tournament, one of the moments of the last couple tournaments, a grand slam in the last inning in a game that you're trying to go to a grand final to break a tie. You know, you have those, Hager pops one up, but Amy, I mean, there's still some time to sort this out. Victoria can rally. Either we're getting 2 outcomes. Either WA win that game because you just saw a grand slam in the last inning, may I repeat, or Victoria are going to have a crazy rally and walk off and go to the gold medal game. Either outcome, we are getting something amazing to write about, an amazing headline. But you talk about those memories that we see players write down in those player forms before. That is going to go in the memory bank of Chloe Atkinson.
And these are the types of moments that make players. So when we talk about mental preparation and visualization and things like that, these girls, like, I would sit there and I wouldn't mentally prepare for a home run. That wasn't my game. I would mentally prepare for line drives, running the base paths. That was obviously my strength. But now we've got these players, and I'm just going to hazard a guess to say we're going to see the likes of your Chloe Atkinsons, your Caitlin Inans and those over in Rockford in the middle of July. They can go back to these moments. She will have a moment. She's going to be up against the USA, Mexico, Canada, trying to secure Australia that top 3 spot for next year. She can sit there and go back to this moment, visualize that in the same situation in the world stage against someone else. Like, these are world-class players here.
Amy, let's go back just a couple minutes before that where Victoria had the potential go-ahead run on base and Chloe Atkinson threw her out at second. Chloe Atkinson is going ballistic in this game.
Yeah, Miku Sasa there. That was amazing. And Leah Cornish, as we said, look, she delivers the ball in a hurry to the plate, so it's going to be hard for anyone when she's on the mound to steal. And I said earlier in the game, this game can be won and lost by the bottom of the lineup. And everyone's going, Amy, you're crazy. How is it going to be won by a team with the middle order batters we see? But this could be it here right now. They are 7-8-9 now, Victoria. So 7-8-9 do their job here to get on and get the lineup back up to the top.
Amy, you're spot on with that call, because let's go back to the 4th inning when the last time 7-8-9 were up to bat. They had runners on first and second and nobody out, and they went down on a sack bunt. As that ball gets through, and maybe that's the window Victoria need for a rally.
Yeah, that's probably an inexperienced play there from Ashlyn Morris. Hasn't spent any time or much time on this field. She has been at second base this week, but she's new back to the game. Hasn't been at any of the last 4 nationals, and just trying to do a bit of an Olay backhand there. Probably needed to get another foot across, take that, maybe give us some space. But something brewing here maybe. This is Ruby Dale now.
This one popped up in the air. If Victoria can get a couple runners on and turn the lineup over for the likes of Abby Kelly, Kira Kwamoto, and Lily Kavanaugh, with Abby McClellan working behind, there is a pathway there, like you said, for a dramatic rally here for Victoria. But right now, it's a grand slam from Chloe Atkinson in the last inning. That is the difference.
Well, you know, we're looking down the barrel. If they get a few runs in, bases loaded, could be a grand slam walk-off from Abby McClellan.
Literally.
I've seen stranger things.
There is a pathway here for some crazy dramatics. Ruby Dale's had herself a really nice tournament as well, Amy. She's hit the ball hard. And she watches a pitch on the outside edge, and Leah Cornish has her second strikeout, and now we're at the one-pitch warning. A double play ball ends the game.
That is a big-time pitch on the outside of the black there. And now we bring up another pinch hitter. This is Ali Bebere, known for her pitching here. Dual Golden Arm winner, but she's a pitcher who can rake. So see if she can rake here.
She was the best and fairest, the MVP winner of the 2025-26 Victorian Women's Division I competition.
She had a season-long hit streak. She hit in every single game. So, and she,
is that good?
And she led Doncaster on the hill.
What'd she do in preseason?
She raked. But she led Doncaster on the mound as well. So that's why she's the league MVP. But, yeah, no, she swings a big – it's a hot bat. It's a bright bat. So we can, if you're a Victorian fan, and there's plenty in the crowd at the moment, Abby Kelly looming large, the Essendon Baseball, Melbourne Uni Baseball Club superstar. Ali will be doing her best to tick it back over to the top.
Ali Bebere, a WPBL draft pick. Might we see her, if this score holds, in a potential preliminary final this afternoon? There's so much up in the air right now. Cornish on the mound. Emerald's teammates. WPBL competitors. So much drama in this game. It's already a classic, Amy McKay.
Man, I just wish some of our years would broadcast. We had so many classics. We're starting to forget them now.
That one fouled away, and there's 2 strikes on the Victorian MVP. She can get on base. It would be 2 for Abby Kelly, a longtime Emerald. Complexion of the inning changes greatly depending what happens with this at-bat. Swing and a miss. A third strikeout from Leah Cornish, and WA are 1 out away from a spot in the gold medal game.
WA's Kurt Russell, who's been touting this all week. We knew this would happen with the bats. We knew it would happen with Cornish on the hill, and everything's just coming in to fruition now for this WA side.
Ground ball to third. That goes foul. Oh, boy, what a game we have seen today. A pitcher's duel between Psyche and Haggart set the stage for a dramatic couple innings with a bases-loaded, 2-out grand slam in the last inning to put WA up 4. Now a hard-hit ball to left field. Running back is the outfielder. It's off the wall. Runner will hold up at 3. That is the right decision, as you have 2 runners in scoring position. The tying run is on deck, and Abby Kelly has given Victoria a heartbeat.
She really has. This was a nice piece here. She's driven it, hitting with the big girls. Nalumi Kamatani off at first base. Runners on second and third. And look, this is probably not the hitting situation that Victoria would like to be in, but with Paula Doherty coming in, the DH, Kawamoto, because they brought left Emi Saki in, they lose the DH. Akira Kawamoto comes out of the game, so Paula Doherty comes in. Look, she can still swing a bat, but
Victoria down to their final out. But WA made their move in the 7th inning with 2 outs on the board. Can Victoria do the same thing? Doherty, if she gets on base, they'll have the tying run at the plate. And it was the MVP from 2 years ago. But again, down to their final strike.
You can see the sun on the field, and as I said in the opener, WA had a rough doubleheader going down to New South Wales and Victoria, but that was cold and it was wet. They don't like that. They like the sun, and they've shone today.
Got her! Western Australia will play for gold.
There is nothing to do but just marvel and smile at what what we've seen today. An absolute classic. Everything I thought I'd hope this game would be. We spoke about the need for Haggett to go deep. We all knew the mouth-watering proposition of Cornish coming on. We've talked all week about the WA bats. We've talked about the precision of the Victorian side. They were undefeated. I don't think we could have ever have scripted a Clo Bomb Grand Slam. This is phenomenal. This is absolutely phenomenal. This WA side, when the team came out, they were the last to announce their team. Everyone was waiting. We'd heard the rumours, and they dropped it. There was a lot of questions about, well, how are they going to fill the time on the hill? And I tell you, they have filled so many. I mean, they are going to fill your social media for days. Absolutely, as we see, big WA cheer squad have come across. And this Victorian side, they are a quality side. And you know what? I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but sometimes you need to have a loss. As we said, Victoria, 2 years undefeated, lost a gold medal game. They have only lost 4 games in the past 4 years. This is their 5th game they've lost in 5 years. And they know the team that they have. They are quality. They now get another opportunity. They will play the winner of Queensland versus New South Wales, which is on now. But
yeah, they're going to have to do it the hard way. They have to wait. They'll play the winner of that game, the winner of the preliminary final. They go straight through to the gold medal game. So the formula is pretty simple. They're all elimination games from here on out. So next up is Queensland versus New South Wales. The loser, their tournament comes to an end. The winner guarantees a medal, and they'll play half an hour after that game ends against Victoria, who will now wait and deliberate on their afternoon, and the winner of that game goes to the gold medal game. But one thing's for certain, Western Australia will play for gold, something I didn't know we would say after watching them get outscored by a combined total of 33-6 on the opening day, but they have fired up the dramatics here, and a brilliant start from Haggart, a clutch couple of hits from Caitlin Einan, and the huge game-winning grand slam in the last inning by Chloe Atkinson gets it done.
Yeah, look, I had in my preview, I said at the end of my preview episode when I spoke to Grace Spano and Megan Haggett, I said, I have you in the gold medal game. On paper, before the championship, I had Victoria facing WA in the gold medal final. I still believe that will happen. New South Wales, I can hear you throwing rubbish at me right now, but that's what I still believe. And it's because of that. It's because of that lineup. It's because of people like Megan Haggett. She needed to deliver 5 innings, and she did, because she does Megan Haggett things. And Eric, I'm just so excited for where women's baseball in this country, just every year. It just blows my mind where we're going.
Well, Amy, we'll let you step aside and get the lineups sorted for the next game. I've got some highlights to post, and WA have a gold medal game to dream of. WA win in a dramatic one on Diamond One. On behalf of Amy McCann and everybody at Spacequake Sports, don't go anywhere. We're back in half an hour.